So, first of all, we'll talk about Truck World Australia. It's a new upcoming truck simulator game for PC. Travel across Australia behind the wheel of the mighty road train. Haul extreme cargo thousands of miles and explore the outback's wilderness in some of the most intense conditions on Earth. Australia is home to the longest and heaviest road trains in the world, which is why these gargantuan trains are so famous. Made up of 3 or more trailers, road trains will be the ultimate driving experience. A simulation game in which we play the role of an employee of a transport company. In heavy cargo, the truck simulator, we are responsible not only for transporting heavy goods, but also for loading them, planning and preparing routes, and navigating other drivers. The project was created in cooperation with Universal Transport and features with decent quality graphics. Well, let's get into the bus. Is the next generation of city bus driving simulation set in the capital of Germany, Berlin, on a realistic scale of 1:1. Transport passengers in different lines across the city with various buses. Manage your fleet and team up with other drivers online. A complex simulation game in which we take on the role of a city bus driver, our company boss, buying and maintaining vehicles and hiring employees. Well, let's talk about Euro Truck Simulator 2 West Balkans. It's the 9th major expansion pack for the best-selling truck simulator titled ETS2. The DLC allows us to explore the titular Western Balkans, from Albania to Slovenia. The countries waiting to be visited behind the wheel of a truck include Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Croatia, Kosovo, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Serbia and Slovenia. In each of them, you'll find both large metropolises and picturesque wild regions. The authors did their best to precisely recreating the area along with its characteristic places and objects. Well, it's Alaskan Truck Simulator. It's a unique game taking place in the ruthless environment of Alaska. It blends the well-known simulator classics with elements of the survival genre. Step into the boots of Alaskan truckers. Get behind the wheels of huge machines and brave one of the harshest and most dangerous environments. Take up the challenge and see if you can survive long enough to fully experience the raw beauty of wild Alaska. SimRail 2021. The Railway Simulator is a simulation game developed by SimRail and published by Playway. SimRail 2021 is new advanced railway simulator. Realistic driving physics, the environment generated on the basis of geodetic data, and master high-speed long-distance EMU, heavy freight hulls, and suburban trains. Travel 500 km of geodetic database real routes. Become train dispatcher and control the traffic according to the schedule, or cooperate with other players on multiplayer mode. Well, the next number is Explain 12. Is the next installment of the popular flight simulator series. The game is developed by Laminar Research Studio. The team responsible for all previous installments, X-Plane 12 is an advanced flight simulator, allowing you to control both airplanes and helicopters. The game focuses on maximum realism in terms of flight physics and control of the available machines. Okay, let's talk about Off-Road Mechanic Simulator. It lets you modify many classic off-road vehicles and prepare them for a daunting task that no normal car could ever hope to complete. Test your modifications in your own off-road adventure. Drive across perilous terrain, climb steep cliffs, and cross muddy rivers. Enjoy breathtaking scenery before moving on to the next obstacle. And don't forget to wash your vehicles before you hand them off to a client. Well, let's talk about American Truck Simulator. Texas is the 8th major paid add-on for simulation game American Truck Simulator. The add-on expands this game with a brand new state, Texas, in an attempt to reflect its diversity both in terms of landscapes and the companies operating in it. The developers have done their best to recreate the Texas state with attention to detail and to render its various flavors as faithfully as possible. Well, now let's get into SimBus. It's a new advanced bus simulator game. Drive historic and modern vehicles from all parts of the world. Visit living cities of United States, Europe, and China in different eras. Become bus driver, follow the timetable, and meet other players in multiplayer mode. Okay, let's talk about Euro Truck Simulator 2 Heart of Russia. It's the 8th major expansion for the ETS2 Truck Simulator released in 2012. As the title suggests, the DLC introduces the European part of Russia to the game. In it, we'll visit Moscow among other places. ETS2 Heart of Russia does not introduce any new mechanics to the game, and the aim of the game is still to drive a truck and deliver goods to specific locations. Truck Simulator is a realistic simulation game where you can drive, repair, and customize heavy-duty quarry machines and vehicles. Here you can develop your own mining empire, be in control of every aspect of your enterprise from gathering the carve to making deliveries yourself. Also, on a day-to-day basis, you'll need to deal with various repairs of your vehicles and their equipment that you can pick and modify depending on what work needs to be done. Okay, let's talk about WRC Generations is the next rally simulator from KD Racing Studio and named after WRC 10. It introduces hybrid cars and offers tracks in 22 countries and 37 historic vehicles. Rise to all the challenges of the most comprehensive, realistic and demanding rally simulation ever developed. Dive into the heart of the action and drive the cars from 2022 WRC Championship, including the new hybrid models. Trans-Siberian Railway Simulator is an imaginative simulation game enriched with survival and action-adventure elements. Get behind the wheels of classic Russian locomotive and check if the wild animals, bad people, severe frost and constantly changing weather are able to stop you. Try to survive in the longest railway line in the world.
Against my intentions, I let you turn me violet instead. I met you in August, New York, back to my cold apartment. Distance sucks, but at least I'm still with you. Whiteout skies, middle November. You and I, flights to wherever. I don't mind, as long as it's with you. As long as it's with you.
Now it's time to talk about Truck Mechanic. Dangerous Paths is a truck driving simulator in which you play as a professional driver and carry the most diverse loads across the South American frontiers, where the greatest challenge are the wilderness and capricious aura of nature. The main character of the game is a truck driver who travels across the frontiers carrying out various orders to transport various goods. On his way of the protagonist, he has to face many problems, the biggest of which is his car, which often breaks down. Well, now we'll talk about Rev to Vertex. Immerse yourself in the virtual racing ground. Explore the vibrant hills and shimmy metropolis of Hong Kong. Customize your car and drift in style. Realistic driving physics and battle system. Defeat rivals and race your way to the top. Well, next number is Heavy Duty Challenge. It's an extreme off-road simulation game. Drive a wide selection of huge and powerful trucks, overcome multiple, massively challenging terrains in real-world based scenarios, and reach the top of the leaderboards to become an ultimate champion of truck trials. DHC is the perfect mixture between sports and simulation. It handles deeply simulated trucks with deformable terrain and real-life league competition based on Europa Truck Trial. Do you want to know what it's like to save lives? In Ambulance Simulator, your task is to provide immediate medical aid to sick and wounded spread across an entire city. Choose the most urgent assignment from many different calls for help. Decide who gets to be rescued by using a tried system. Yes, next is Public Transport Simulator. It's a realistic simulator of a public transport manager. Buy old city transport station, repair old buses, decide what trams will look like, hire best people, and earn money and give people the best transport in the city. Okay, now let's talk about Ships 2022. It's a combination of an economic strategy and a ship control simulator. Manage and upgrade your port, recruit a crew, carry out your mission, and enjoy your sea adventures. Ships 2022 features a realistic, open world with a daily time system. The dynamics of the game is stimulated by the randomness of events, including changing weather. When you sail out to the sea, you never know what awaits you. Ships 22 features two game modes. In the first, strategic one, your role comes down to broad-based management. You give orders to your employees and you have the last word on the units, the repair, upgrades, and load. You also decide whether and when to start expanding the port in order to increase its capabilities and profitability. The construction simulator is back, bigger and better than ever. Get back to work with a vehicle fleet whose size will knock your socks off. Beyond brands like Caterpillar, Case and Bell that are already familiar in the construction simulator series, you can get behind the wheel of new licensed machines from partners like DAF and Doosan. Over 70 machines, vehicles, trucks, attachments, and 2 huge maps based on the USA and Germany.
I can feel